Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Remember just a few short weeks ago when some urinalists decided to have their hot take on Birds of Prey? They launched a campaign to try and create some spin behind it, saying Birds of Prey is 2020's top grossing superhero movie. There are a couple of things which they neglected to say in that. First of all, that it was the only superhero movie of 2020 that had been released at the time. I'll talk about Wonder Woman later. And also the film lost money, more than likely. At best, broke even. Realistically, probably lost a few tens of millions along the way. But they neglected to say that. And so they decided to say, it's time to stop talking about whether it's a success, because it's the #1 movie of 2020 for superheroes, and time to start talking about a sequel. Well, that hot take was about as hot as a match burning, because just a few short weeks later, here we are discussing it with Margot Robbie, the star of that ill-fated movie. And guess what, folks? Ain't gonna happen by the looks of it. Now, I've taken 3 articles from what I thought was going to be 3 completely shill websites, because I really wanted to see how they spun this. And I took one from Games Radar, which we'll go into in a moment. Then there's Screen Trash, which we'll get into next. And then a site which I hadn't heard of before, but it was called Designer Women. And so I thought, oh, this will be a good laugh. And little did I know that they actually call it pretty much down the middle. So I'm going to read it out, because I'm going to give them props where props is due. So this is Games Radar. The Birds of Prey might not be flying again anytime soon. Well, that's what happens when your movie doesn't make money. You know, they say, oh, look, we threw $90-odd million at some bint who was completely ill-prepared, hadn't got the experience required to deal with these sort of movies or budgets. But girl power! Because that's all the craze. Oh, look, the movie was a disaster and it lost us money. Great! Can I have more money for a sequel? No, off, Kathy. She thinks she's going to get it, by the way. We'll talk about that in a moment. Birds of Prey saw the eponymous female superhero team make their big screen debut. While the film was favourably reviewed, of course it was an all-female group of bints, and mostly well received by fans. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Rotten Tomatoes might have their score, but that's irrelevant because Rotten Tomatoes is a fucking fake site. If a film did well and was reviewed by the audience favourably, word of mouth would make people go see it. Remember, this film came out before the global pandemic, but it didn't. People saw this movie and laughed because it was shit. It was garbage. Absolute garbage. No interest in some misinterest piece of shite. Male or female. You think you're pandering to females. Females are smarter than you think. Clearly not the females in Hollywood. They're dumb as shit. Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn is appearing in James Gunn's Suicide Squad, a soft reboot / sequel of the original movie, yet it might not be a while before we see Birds of Prey 2. Yes, it might not be a while. This is obviously pretty disappointing for Birds of Prey fans. No, not really, because there aren't any. It would be a real shame if we never got to have any further installments. No, it wouldn't, considering how unique and chaotically fun the film is. No, it's not. It's complete fucking shite. Okay? Enough of that shit. Birds of Prey 2, not in active development, says Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie says Birds of Prey 2 is not in active development. What a surprise. Robbie became one of the DC Extended Universe's biggest stars in 2016 with her Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad. Yes, because she was a bit player. She wasn't the lead, because Harley Quinn was pretty much designed that way. Also, Margot Robbie is an incredibly sexy woman, and they dressed her up very provocatively as well. So we had sexy little one-liner girl with a gun and a baseball bat being funny here or there while we had other things going on. Didn't have to concentrate on her for 2 hours. Hey, Chihuahua. Now then, I think this is the one with that talks about Kathy Yan. I hope so. It might be. Anyway, Kathy Yan was recently interviewed, and she says, I really want a sequel to this because I got some great ideas. Well, your first idea failed miserably. You know, the idea that Harley Quinn wanted a fucking sandwich. And then you took some great characters in the DC universe and fucked them all up. Because you didn't spend the time and research the characters. You didn't have any respect for their background or what they stood for or what they meant. You just thought, I've got an Asian, I've got a black woman, I've got a white woman, and I've got an olive-skinned woman. Because that's all you gave a flying shit about, and that's why your movie was a piece of crap. Because those are the things that you concentrate on in Hollywood, and you sort of let things go like good story, good characterization, good direction. You know, that kind of got pushed to one side so you could just tick a few boxes. So her great idea for the sequel is, I want to bring in Poison Ivy and have them in a lesbo relationship. Well, I'm sorry to say, Kathy, but that was done far better and far more subtly than you'll ever be able to do thanks to Batman, the animated series. And you won't get better than that. Absolutely, you won't be able to touch it. And if you think they're going to give you another $100 million to make another movie, you're living in La La Land. Well, you are living in La La Land, and that's just the problem. You lost the company money with your crap film. Good luck. So let's go on to the third one. Designer women. I thought this was going to be a disaster, this article, but can Birds of Prey win a sequel? Margot Robbie responds. Now listen to this. This is what journalism should be. Birds of Prey promised to be a huge success and a revolution in the adaptations of DC Comics to bring the first group of anti-heroines to the big screen. However, the feature film made just $202 million worldwide on a budget of around $85 million. In other words, the film only paid for itself, but did not generate the expected profit. Correct. Because it's not just budget, it's marketing, it's advertising, it's the cut from the cinemas. There's a good chance this film actually probably lost a few tens of millions. But I'm quite happy with that take. That's a very sensible take still. So it looks like Warner Brothers has no plans to invest in a sequel, at least for now. During an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn, was asked about the subject and gave a somewhat disheartening response. Disheartening for people that want a sequel, that is. I don't know anything about a straight guy. Right now, I don't think there are any plans or anything worth mentioning. In other words, there's nothing. There's nothing there whatsoever. Now, of course, Wonder Woman is due to release in the States on Christmas Day, also on HBO, the box office, service that you have, which I think is just America-based. I don't even know if you can get it worldwide yet. But it's been actually released overseas for a week. It came out, I think, here on the 16th in the UK of December. However, here in the UK, we've only got a quarter of the cinemas in the country open. That's it. Only a quarter. Because of the various tier lockdowns. Also, not all of those cinemas can have Wonder Woman either. There's a proportion of them that can't even get the movie. And so there has been a very disappointing start to the worldwide gross for Wonder Woman. I think it's only taken about $39 million worldwide at the moment, with about 18 to 19 million coming from China, which is over 50% less than 2017's Wonder Woman. Now, I don't want to, I mean, it's not good, but I don't want to get overly critical, because this is a completely different situation now to when it was back in early February. In as much as the amount of available cinemas, Birds of Prey opened up to an insane amount of cinemas. Insane. Wonder Woman's going to go nowhere near that. Absolutely nowhere near that. So it's very difficult to say, well, this film's a flop or this film's a success, because we're not really seeing it how it should have been released. We're not seeing the numbers how they truly would have been if everything was open, and not just everything open, people were willing to go out to the cinema and see it because of the coof. So it's not looking great for the film, and it's on a $200 million budget. Birds of Prey was on an 80 to 90 million budget. So the film's going to be lucky to make its money back. It's probably going to have to do globally around 400 million to get its money back. So 38.8 million is a pretty weak start, but we'll see what happens in America on Christmas Day. And as regards to the HBO box office numbers, I don't know if they're ever going to release them or tell us how much it generated through them. They might just keep those to themselves. I don't know. But yes, I think Birds of Prey will have the the title of biggest gross. Just flipping heck! I've just had a thought. 2 superhero movies released in 2020. Both of them are more than likely going to lose money. Harley Quinn and Birds of Prey, that's lost money. Wonder Woman, it's got an uphill struggle to make its money. So both of them could actually lose money. Both female-led. I don't want to go into that. But yeah, Birds of Prey look like they have the biggest grossing, maybe. We'll see. Superhero movie of 2020. If Wonder Woman beats it, I will piss myself laughing. Absolutely piss myself laughing. So Birds of Prey 2, not going to happen. Such a shame. Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do get a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and YouTube for live streaming. Links are in the description box down below, and I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.